Imagine this. Right now, you are working inside a plastic factory. Suddenly, your clothes get caught in a machine, and in less than a few seconds, the machine pulls you in. Before anyone can turn the machine off, your hand has been severed at the forearm. The factory manager immediately calls emergency services, rescue teams arrive, the bleeding is controlled, and you are transported to the hospital as quickly as possible. A few minutes later, inside the operating room, the best surgeons are working to save your life. But now go back 50,000 years. There are no emergency services, no hospitals, no ambulances, no specialist doctors, and not even any anesthesia. If a tiger severed your leg at the ankle while hunting, or if you fell from a cliff and your bones were crushed, what would happen? How did early humans survive such devastating injuries? Today, we are going to take a journey into the heart of history together and discover secrets that have amazed even scientists. Deadly challenges. When a body part is severed, it's not just the pain that threatens a human life. Within minutes, severe bleeding can lead to death. If the person survives, the danger of infection begins, an invisible enemy that in the ancient world was almost a death sentence. On the other hand, intense pain could send the person into shock and even make continuing treatment impossible. But archaeological evidence shows that ancient humans had found solutions for all these seemingly impossible problems. The amazing discovery at Leang Tebbo. In 2022, archaeologists in a cave called Leang Tebbo, in the heart of the rainforests of Borneo, found the skeleton of a child who lived about 31,000 years ago. Their age was estimated between 10 to 14 years, but what shocked everyone was the left leg. The lower part of the leg had been severed years before death with a very clean cut. A diagonal cut that passed through the tibia and fibula bones. It was so precise that it bore a striking resemblance to amputation sites in modern advanced surgeries. But the real wonder was just beginning. The bones showed no signs of infection and had completely healed. Investigations showed that this child lived for about 6 to 9 more years after the amputation. This is the oldest known evidence of a successful amputation in human history. But how? Step 1. Stopping the bleeding. The first enemy was bleeding. If the blood wasn't stopped within minutes, there was no more chance for treatment. Ancient humans likely tied something like a primitive tourniquet slightly above the wound using strips of animal skin or strong plant fibers to restrict blood flow. Then they used plants like yarrow. The crushed leaves of this plant were placed directly on the wound. A plant that today is also proven to contain compounds with blood-clotting effects and mild antibacterial properties. But not all methods were this mild. Some cultures burned the surface of the wound, cauterization, with hot stone tools or molten metal to close the vessels. An incredibly painful method, but sometimes the only way to save a human life. Step 2. Fighting the pain. Now the patient was still alive, but the pain could kill them. At that time, there was no news of anesthetic injections or modern drugs. Some tribes used the bark or a decoction of the willow tree, which contains a substance called salicin, the same compound that later inspired the creation of aspirin. In some areas, wild poppy or plants from the Solanaceae family were also used. Of course, these plants could be very dangerous and even toxic. To keep the patient from moving during treatment, they were held firmly with animal skins or ropes. The tribe members would also gather around them, calming them and providing emotional support. Interestingly, modern research also shows that strong social support can increase the brain's pain tolerance threshold. Step 3. The defensive barrier against infection. But perhaps the greatest enemy still remained infection. Without antibiotics, the smallest contamination could be the end of a life. This is where the ingenuity of ancient humans shows itself. Neanderthals produced birch tar from at least 190,000 years ago. Research has shown this substance has strange antimicrobial properties and was likely used for wound protection as well. In some other regions, honey was used, a substance that, due to its osmotic properties, is still used in some specialized medical dressings today. Additionally, the bark of certain trees, plants rich in tannin, and even the ashes of some plants were used to keep the wound dry and reduce contamination. Step 4. The miracle of care. But even if the operation was successful, how could a human with an amputated leg hunt in the harsh ancient world? How could they provide food or defend themselves? The answer is perhaps the most important secret of our species' survival: cooperation. Archaeological evidence shows that people with physical disabilities lived for years after severe injuries. This means the tribe members cared for them, provided them with food, and did not let them be alone. Perhaps it was this spirit of cooperation and compassion that made humans the most successful species on Earth. Today, if our hand gets a small cut, we feel relieved with a few minutes of disinfection and a bandage. But for our ancestors, every wound was a major battle between life and death. A battle fought not with advanced machines, but with experience, intelligence, cooperation, and a deep understanding of nature. Perhaps the greatest human invention wasn't just fire or the wheel, but learning that in the hardest moments, humans stay together. If this video was interesting to you, be sure to like it and follow the Danix channel, because in the next videos, we will go after other unbelievable secrets from the lives of ancient humans that are hard to believe.